Hey guys, what's going on? It's me, ButterCreep here, and today I'm going to be doing a mod showcase of the Even More Tnt mod. I will be showing the crafting recipes and the effects of every single piece of TNT. So first off, we're going to start with a regular TNT for reference. I'm just going to place right there. It makes a decently big crater. Well, yeah. Next one up is the teleporting TNT. You can craft this by surrounding a normal piece of TNT with ender pearls. I'm going to light this up. Okay, so the effects of that TNT is it teleports around randomly, like an Enderman would, and it just explodes and makes a about the size of a normal TNT's explosion. Next one up is going to be the mining TNT, which can be crafted using multiple miners' delight surrounding a TNT times 10, which we'll get on later in the mod. And this TNT gets a little bit laggy with my computer, but it digs a hole all the way down to bedrock. This can be used to uncover ores, like I can find redstone and iron in this hole. I think it could be very useful in survival if you want to make a like excavation area, I guess. The next one's called the Fiery TNT. You can craft it with fire charges, magma blocks, and normal TNT. So I assume this one's just going to set all the trees and stuff on fire. And I was correct. It creates a flat looking plane of fire. So anything on this level will be caught on fire, and that fire will, of course, spread. Next one I'm doing is the Lightning Storm TNT. This is crafted with Fiery TNT, normal TNT, and some redstone. So let's light this up. It's not storming right now, but it struck the entire area with lightning. It appears to have close to the same effects as the Fire TNT, but you could use this to create charged creepers, possibly, if you want to try and get mob heads. Next one is the Water Flood Tnt, which is just surrounding TNT with water buckets. And that one just creates a massive block of water. I don't know the usefulness of that unless you want to create like a pool, but it appears to destroy blocks because that mountain has a chunk taken out of it. Next one's going to be Lava TNT, which is created by surrounding TNT with lava buckets. And that one has a smaller explosion area than the water one, but that's because lava is not a renewable resource in Minecraft. Even though there's basically all of it in the nether, it's technically not renewable. So let me just get these out of my bar, and I'll be going on to these. So my next one's the Gravitational Tnt. It is crafted with a bunch of feathers surrounding TNT, and I've got a decent amount of mobs over here because I assume it sucks stuff in. I want to back away so it doesn't get me. Oh, it just launches everything in the air. I thought that it would suck stuff in and like blow up then. So next one's Bunker Buster TNT, which is created by mining TNT, normal TNT, and TNT times 10. So this one should be a very large explosion. Oh no, it just digs straight down, all the way down to bedrock. And it has a wide explosion at the bottom. This is cool, because it's got like a perfect square. My next one's going to be the Biome Buster Tnt, which can be crafted like this: Chunk Busters, Tnt times 100, and Tnt times 20. Oh, I'll do Chunk Buster first, which is Tnt times 10, Bunker Buster, and Tnt times 20. So this one should take out 16 by 16, because that's how big a chunk is in Minecraft. It did well, I think that's a little bit more than 16, but it did a pretty big hole. That's cool. Next one's going to be the Biome Buster, which I just showed you guys the crafting recipe, but in case you need it again, it is Chunk Buster, Tnt times 100, and Tnt times 20. And I'm going to get a wide area so I can show the effects of it. And takes a while for a fuse. So this gives you perfect time to run away before the explosion actually happens. And you can see all the blocks breaking, but my computer hasn't rendered it yet. And there it is. It is a massive explosion, which is once again perfectly like square. So I think that's pretty cool. Next one is the Slimey Tnt. It can be crafted with slime balls around a normal Tnt. And oh, so the effect of this Tnt is it appears to first have a massive explosion, then summon a smaller Slimy Tnt, and then that will keep exploding until the last one. But I believe the explosions get smaller and smaller. As you can see, it's barely breaking a block now. Okay, my next Tnt is called the Airstrike Tnt. It is crafted with Cluster Tnt surrounding Tnt times 200. And let's light this up. And that one appears to just drop tons and tons of TNT from above. It's kind of hard to turn right now in my game. But eventually this should stop, hopefully. And it's got a very wide area, and it's still falling from the sky. So this is good if you want to destroy like an entire village or something. Because there's no way a village would survive this. And it appears to be over. But look at the destruction of that. And it's still exploding over there, because the chunks haven't loaded in for some parts. Next one's the Cluster Tnt. You can craft it with multiple Tnt, just 9 of them in that pattern. So I'm going to place that down. It just summons more Tnt. That's a pretty big explosion. And I assume that would do tons of damage because it was just multiple normal Tnt together. Next one's Festive Tnt, which is Firework Rockets surrounding Tnt. And I'm going to go over here to set this off. Oh, it just sent multiple creeper-shaped fireworks. And let me get the new blocks. The next ones appear to be very big because we've got the World Buster, which is very large. World Buster Tnt, Tnt times 500, Tnt times 1000, and Biome Busters. So it should logically be stronger than the Biome Buster. And I think I'm going to save this for the end, because that's going to take forever for my computer to render. But Tnt times 100 is just TNT times 20 and TNT times 10 surrounding it. So let's place that. And it had a very large effect. So that's what a TNT times 100 did. There are TNT times 1,000 later on in this mod. So that will be interesting on how big those explosions are. Next one up is the Shulker Tnt, which is crafted with Shulker shells surrounding a normal piece of TNT. I don't know what this is going to do, so I'm going to try and find some mobs because it could have an effect on those. And it appeared to have given every single mob in a decently wide radius levitation. Sorry about that. I have levitation for about 20 seconds earlier, and so does all the mobs nearby. And I believe this gets you up to a high enough height to kill you. We can test because skeletons have the same health as players in Minecraft. So unless someone had feather falling or normal armor, they would die from that. Next one up is Miner's Delight, which is multiple iron pickaxes surrounding a piece of TNT. I'm going to place this right here, and let's see what it does. Okay, so Miner's Delight gets rid of everything cobblestone, like diorite, andesite, all that, except for ores, and it appears that it won't get rid of dirt or gravel. So you could use this in your survival world if you want to get a bunch of ore. You can go down to like level 13 or whatever it is that diamonds spawn at, and just place a bunch of these, and you'll find diamonds a lot easier. But you can see that I easily find coal with this, and it's a good way to get a ton of cobblestone. Woodcutters Delight is up next, which I need to find a tree or some trees. Let's go over into this forest. You can still hear the airstrike going off. So Woodcutter's Delight is shears and iron axe around a normal piece of TNT. I'm gonna light that up. And as you can see, it just cuts down all the trees and all the leaves within a certain amount of it, or within a certain area. That could be pretty good if you hate cutting down trees and have a ton of iron. So you can make all the axes. Next one up is Water Absorption Tnt, which can be crafted with sponges surrounding a piece of TNT. I'm gonna place that right in here and hope that it works underwater, because it should. And let's see the effects. It completely drained the river for this much. This can be used to get rid of the effects of the water TNT we showcased earlier. Next one's TNT times 5, which can be crafted with 5 TNT in a plus shape. This is the only TNT that I actually had tested out, because I wanted to test if redstone works on this, and it does. And that is a very large explosion. I don't believe you could get that big of an explosion with 5 pieces of TNT. And it destroyed all the trees around here. Next one up is TNT times 10, which is crafted with 2 TNT times 5. So this one should be twice the size of the last explosion. And yeah, that's pretty big. And as you can see, usually with most large TNTs, it creates a sort of square shape. I think I've always found that interesting. TNT times 20 is 2 TNT times 10. Let's get a different area to try this out on. And this seems about good. Let's light that up. and see the effects. Once again, it has a somewhat square sort of shape, but I've noticed it's got a lot wider of a shape and it's deeper. And that's all the TNTs for that hotbar. So next up, I'm going to be doing TNT times 500, 1000, black hole, troll, all of these. And I'm saving World Buster, Multi-World Buster, and I'm just gonna swap those out. So let's test out TNT times 200 first, which is right here, which is TNT times 10, TNT times 20, and TNT times 100 combined in a crafting recipe. And let's light that up. It appears that they do this with multiple pieces of TNT being summoned around this, so it has less of a square shape, I believe. It probably still has a square shape, but it's less. Yeah, that is a large explosion. I cannot even render all of it. So that is a very powerful piece of TNT. And that's only TNT times 200. Let's get rid of that. Next up is TNT times 500, which is crafted with TNT times 200 and 1 TNT times 5 or 100. And let's see how big of an explosion this thing gets. So I'm going to fly over here and light that up. Let's see what it does. I don't think this has a large enough fuse for people to get away, so you probably have to set some sort of redstone line to this if you don't want to die. And my computer's trying to find out what's happening. And that is a large explosion. It appears that it even blew up some of the water. But this thing is much larger than the TNT times 200. It just keeps going. So, let me fly away real quick. My computer's being very laggy because it's just rendered all that. Next up is the TNT times 1000, which is just 2 TNT times 500. And let's place that next to a mountain and see what it does to that. I don't think those horses are going to survive. I was correct. And this is loading in. You can already see there's a ton of destruction. I've noticed that it leaves a bunch of floating blocks just everywhere. As you can see, this mountain that I blew up is just tons of floating blocks. But this explosion is not that much bigger than the TNT times 500. I believe it'd be. Oh, it's loading it over here. Yeah, but I still believe it'd be more bang for your buck to just do 2 TNT times 500s. And next up is the Black Hole TNT. So I'm going to try and find some, or I can actually just spawn them in. I'm going to spawn in some cows, I guess, because I believe that this will affect the area, or the entities nearby. Right now my computer's trying to load in all these chunks. So, yeah, I'm just going to... Oh, the explosion was still loading. And it does, in fact, impact water, apparently. Yeah, take it back. This is much bigger than the TNT times 500. It's just that I can't load it. So, it just keeps going. It destroyed a mountain very far away. I'm going to place down a bunch of cows. and place down a black hole TNT and light that up. It just broke all the blocks nearby and killed all the cows. It just breaks blocks nearby. Well, that can be used for mining, I guess, because it just breaks the blocks nearby, but it does kill all the entities nearby, so that kind of stinks. So if you were in survival, you would most likely die from this. Yeah, everything nearby this just dies and gets sucked up into the thing. I'm not sure how long that thing's gonna last, so I'm gonna check out the Troll TNT. Oh yeah, the crafting recipe for Black Hole TNT is Gravitational Tnt, Physic Tnt, and Tnt times 100. Next one's Troll TNT, which can be crafted with dead bushes and TNT. So I'm gonna place that right here, and let's place a mob to see if it does any damage. So now that that's lit, it explodes randomly nearby it. So it's not going to explode where it's standing. So if I'm just, you can just place one as a TNT trap, and your friend will think that they're going to blow up, and they're not. Next one's Physic Tnt, which is crafted with feathers, Gravitational Tnt, and Tnt times 20. This one I'm going to spawn in more cows again, because I'm pretty sure that this will affect it. Well, it does affect mobs. It gathers all the blocks nearby into a sphere, it appears, and it damages all entities nearby. And it just creates a sphere of stuff. That's pretty cool. And next up is the Flatter TNT, which is crafted with Miner's Delight and an iron shovel. So let's just use that near the mountain and see if it can flatten a mountain. So let's light that up and see what it does. Not sure if it did anything. Let's try that again. Oh, it's just my computer. Whoa. So that's like the Biome Buster TNT, but it just makes a certain height that flat. Because that is a massive explosion. So I'm going to just break that, because I don't want to do that again. So the Wrath of Zeus TNT can be crafted with Lightning Storm TNT and TNT times 20. So let's light this up. And it should have a lightning storm. It did. That was so much lightning, it lagged the game. Oh my goodness. So as you can see, that just creates a ton of lightning. Let's try and do it in an area where fire can actually stay, so I can see the radius of this TNT. It has a very loud thundering sound. It actually doesn't have that wide of a radius for fire, but it does have a ton of lightning. So let's get rid of these. And next up, I'm thinking of doing the 2000 TNT, because that seems like the least destructive, surprisingly. And to craft a TNT times 2000, you need, where is it? TNT times 2000 is just two 1000 TNTs. So I'm going to place that right over near this mountain, because it will destroy the mountain, hopefully. And I'm going to back up because this thing's going to lag. I've noticed that most of the large TNTs have multiple explosions going on. I find that very interesting. Rather than just one big explosion, it's just a ton of them. And based on the size of TNT times 1000, this will just reach on for thousands of blocks. once again, the initial explosion area is not that big compared to the other 500 TNTs, but I assume that out here it's going to be very big. Okay, I'm not sure if that works on this version of Minecraft, but I can show if it does work. I can show the effects of the explosion. Like, you can see all those lines? Those are all caused by the TNT, because it has such a big explosion. Okay, I'll get back to you guys when this all renders in. And I'm back. It appears that most of this explosion has rendered in, but as you can see, it is massive. I'm gonna go underground, and it's kind of hard to see because everything is just air. Like all the stone's been excavated from that TNT explosion. And you can still see the marks of the explosion hundreds of blocks away. Because I didn't test any TNT over here, and these trees are decapitated. So, I'm going on to the World Buster TNT, which can be crafted with. Where is it? It can be crafted with TNT times 500 Biome Buster and TNT times 1000. So this logically should be larger than the TNT times 2000 because it has more stuff put into it. And I'm going to place it right here. I assume it's going to be like Chunk Buster and create a massive hole. And once again, I'll be back when my computer renders this explode. And I'm back. It appears I've actually flown quite a way to get here. So right here, we are at 1838. So let's fly to the other end of this explosion. It's the same as the Chunk and Biome Busters, to where it's perfectly square, it appears. And it also doesn't break bedrock, but it does go all the way down to bedrock, no matter where you place it. There's some chickens falling down still. So it appears that it doesn't do any damage. But it went from 1838 to 2350. I don't know how much that is now, but I'm gonna put up a number so I can show you guys how much of a explosion that is. And next time, I gotta do the multi-world Buster TNT. So I'm gonna fly out of this hole and try and find an area a few thousand blocks away. Because I'm gonna need an area a few thousand blocks away. Because I'm assuming that this is literally that, just like 9 times. I can't be for sure because it doesn't tell you how to craft it, so I don't know how many World Busters go into the multi-World Buster. But I'm going to go a couple thousand blocks away. 10,000 seems about good. I messed that up. And there we go. So I am officially 10,000 blocks away. I'm going to go to the bottom of the ocean. Actually, let's see how well this does against the entire ocean. This is the Multi-World Buster TNT, which is uncraftable, and will probably delete my computer. Let's see how well this works. Yeah, I'll get back when it's over. Hey guys, I'm sorry to inform you that I'm not actually going to be able to show off the Multi-World Buster TNT. I've tried it once or twice in multiple worlds and nothing's happened. I just light it and now I'm unable to interact with anything in the game. I've waited over an hour to try and see what the explosion would look like, but it's just not loading. Yeah, once again, I'm sorry about that, but if you guys want to see more mod showcases, comment down below what mods you would want to see me showcase. And if you like the video, you can hit the like button. And if you want to see more videos of either mod showcases or stone block, which I've probably posted one or two videos by the time this thing has come out, then hit the subscribe button, and even the notification bell will notify you whenever I post a new video, so you can be the first to see it. Well, that's it. Hope you enjoyed the showcase of the Even More Tnt mod, and goodbye!